We're back in Starbuck, Minnesota. We still have a little bit of a winter storm going on. I think the snow is going to clear up today, but we have a little bit of an issue as we're going to run out of feed for the cattle. We do not have any ability to feed them yet since we don't have a way to mow, and this time of year, really, we're not going to get any mowing done this time of year. So we're going to have to figure out a way to buy some feed. And I'm heading over to the John Deere. I do have it over by the grass field because we are cutting down some trees over there. So we have a new plan. We're going to be able to get it figured out, and I'll show you in a little bit, but we got to take care of the animals first, and we're heading over here to pick up the John Deere 6R. If you're new to this series, it's called No Shortcuts, and we are not able to tab. Our economy is on hard, and we're trying to play as realistic as possible. So I couldn't just tab over here to get to my equipment. So you can see the log forks look a little different because, I mean, we technically can just do that right now. So we will be taking advantage of that feature of having the tension belts on the log forks. So that will help us out with some of the issues that we were having. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Like I said, we've got to prioritize our cattle. So we're going to head in and get our bale spike and head in and buy probably some hay and potentially some TMR as well. We do have straw, so we couldn't, or not TMR, but silage we could buy to make TMR. So let's go get what we need and we'll head into the store. And temporarily we will put the log forks down here. I think we need to detach the hoses at minimum here. And then that should allow us to detach the log fork. And then if we could sneak over here, we're making it a little too crammed for ourselves. And I don't know if this has any hoses, but we will check. Of course it does. All right, those are hooked up now. All right, let's head in. Let's try to see, what the best options are for us financially to just get by. We have, I think it's just about 1,000. Let's double check. Everything's on. There's our indicator. So yeah, 1,400 food. They do have 3,000 milk. I did get some awesome comments. We are going to be solving that today too, because we don't want our milk to spoil. So we're gonna sell it every month. Just gonna be the rule we're gonna use, because it's a couple days in real life is what I'm understanding. And I think the best solution for that, for us playing on a 1 month or 1 day month, is to just make sure we sell it monthly and deal with the fact that the prices won't always be the best. So no trailer to put bales on yet, so we will have to just move these on our own. All right, let's take a look. I think what we'll do is 2 of these hay bales. It costs us $3,000, and then 2 of these silage bales, and we do have straw already. All right, let's see if we can remember how to close the claws here. There we go. And I think weight-wise, I don't know if we'll be able to do all 4, but I think we're gonna try. Yeah, I can already tell it's gonna be an issue. Yeah, we're just gonna make 2 trips. We'll just make 2 trips. Okay, some snow is setting in, which is surprising because the snowstorm should be ending soon, but hopefully it's not too bad. We did return the snow blower. Since we only had an hour worth of snow, I did not think it would accumulate, so oh well. So I don't know how this feed mixer works on this barn. I've never used it before. I believe this is the one with the automatic machine here, or feeding machine. And I think we just put this in the right slot, which for hay should be right here. And I don't think we have to do anything. I think it works on its own. Back that out. It is taking it. So now we will go grab the silage bales and then get a couple straw bales of our own. And looks like the silage belongs here. Go ahead and let that get accepted there. We might have to help this one out a little bit. There we go. Just gotta punch it to the ground, guys. Absolutely realistic. Now, I've been hesitant to buy the manure heap because we're just not there yet financially to make expansions like that, but eventually we need to. I think it would be nice to be able to switch to using slurry and manure for, our own fertilizer. I think we'll just take these 3. That'll be fine. 24,000 liters of straw. It's gonna go over there eventually anyways. All right, that's unloaded now. So let's see if we can learn a little bit here. It does say that food is still the same. Let's go ahead and bump that one as well. Plenty of straw, silage, and hay. So I don't know. Let's take a look. Yeah, food's at a low capacity. Is there something we have to do here to activate this? I've never used it before. I thought it was automatic. Maybe it happens on the hour? But it says silage is 10,000, hay is 16,000, straw is 24,000, but feed or food right now is only 1,400. Meadow is 6,000, so I don't know if they eat meadow in the winter or if it just kind of sits there. But we'll just kind of let that do its thing and check on it in a little bit and hope it works. Now, did we let this run out? No, we still have 7,000. This thing's super disappointing how slow it is. And for the sheep right now, we are looking probably another day or so before we need feed for them. And the chickens have 5,000 still. All right, how they doing with eggs? They're just not really producing much yet. Still young. We'll get there. All right, let's get this added back on, get the hoses connected, and then get back over to where we're working on the trees. And like I said, I hope this clears up soon and we get a little bit of sunshine today and get this snow to melt. All right, get these hoses connected here because I do want to go sell this and start with a fresh trailer. Just kind of, you know, be honest with you, kind of delaying and dragging this out until we hopefully have better conditions. If not, we're going to fight through a little bit of snow, but not spend a ton of time as it's freezing out. But I did do a little bit of testing on off camera, and that's why we have this already. Was able to do all of that without being too mad at the game, which was really refreshing. So we'll show you here in a little bit. There's some sunshine. All right, let's see. First load today brings in 3,200. That's not terrible. This is definitely going to be the approach to keep us afloat financially. Our economy is definitely a little bit more difficult, but I think once we get going and treating these fields ourselves, it won't feel as bad as it did this year. I think we're trending good, and I wanted to get a worker going on finishing the plowing of that field, but conditions are not helping with that situation. All right, it's time to, you know, get busy here. And once we have a log to pick up, I'll show you how the straps are helping us out here. All right, we got a decent one here, but what I've been just doing is, you know, just grabbing onto it. It might grab a couple, but it's making it more enjoyable for me. We're actually doing the work. It might not be 100% realistic, but I feel like with the limitations of this game and the stuff we documented, last episode, this is about as good as it's gonna get, at least on this channel. I thought, oh, they are detached. They just kind of fell in together there. So you can see it does make my job a lot easier and, like I said, a lot more enjoyable. So I'm gonna get busy here and just give you guys some updates on how we're doing and hopefully get back to a little bit of farming because I do want to be a little bit more progress on this series. Okay, this is quite interesting. I was doing a lot of work off camera and I finally got this thing to work. We had to add mineral feed, which I'm not a huge fan of, but we can deal. But this is kind of cool. I haven't seen this before. I haven't even seen it on anyone else's videos, so I did have to look up to see how it worked, and I did learn that we needed the mineral feed, but check it out. Like, how much is in here? Hopefully this is a decent amount and it keeps up. Now, is it going all the way over here? Where are you going? All right, he's going to turn in. It's going to now turn around. That was interesting. And, I mean, it's a decent animation. Still no feed showing up. I imagine once it gets past the door, it'll tell us the amount of food we have. Maybe when it goes back in. I mean, we're still at 1,300. What's going on? All right, that door's shutting. And we're still at 1,300. Do I even have to say it? Wow. Wow. Just wow. Gonna let another, I don't know. We're just gonna fill it up. This is, I'm a little disappointed. we are going to put total mixed ration in here. And can I not even do that here? I can't do that myself. There we go. Now it is filling it up. That was what was missing from the so-called animation that was going on there with the automatic robot. And I think I'm going to give myself 2 of these just to make things even. Like, this is base game, right? Before I get too cranky here. Yeah, with robot. This is a $722,000 facility. I think it would function. Tell you guys, try my hardest not to complain. This game makes it so easy. All right, we're going to do a worker here. We're going to get them going on that. And we're going to hopefully have a pretty good day. But it's raining. It's raining. Blocked by object. Go ahead and take care of that, ma'am. And we're going to go... Well, let's look at something. Let's go to the finance tab. Just got way ahead of myself. We were in March. That threw me way off. $39,000 from wood. December, we had $21,000. So I could have cut them a little bit better, I think, to make that work a little bit better for us, but it is what it is. Let's go look at that area. Little hailstorm going on right now. Hopefully we don't get too much of our wheat field damaged, or barley. I forget what we did. That is barley. Yeah, way different over here. We do have a ton of stumps, which would be nice to remove, but we're definitely going to cut this area before plowing it. And then we'll probably plow the entire thing because we did know that it's on its needs, you know, it needs to be plowed. It's in that state right now. So we'll get one good cut out of it and then we'll probably replant it. The next area we're going to attack, and I'm going to give myself a little break from lumber, is going to be that area by the sawmill. So we need to go double check our capacity over there. Let's make sure we're good. Check on the rest of the animals. And then what is this looking at? Yeah, we still got one more. So in April, we'll be planting soybeans in the field to our left. And then cutting the grass as well in April. So just need to take care of the animals and get our, you know, whatever they're doing, and started nowhere near where we started them. But, you know, they're just going to do their thing. We'll let them do it. We'll take over in a little bit. But let's just double check here that the chickens have enough feed. Look at that. All right, pallets are starting to, you know, yeah, we're good. We got 1,058. Still 4,000 food here. And we're still at 4,000 here as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cattle. And I wouldn't be surprised if the robot worked overnight. We're at 27,000, so it might have. And the animation's just the animation, but we'll keep an eye on that. Because I think I only added 22,000, so maybe it is working, just I was impatient there. We'll check on it later as well. And, you know, as always, let's take a look at time-saving stock check just to see if there's anything close to needing to be sold today. Would be, and we might get that today. It would be nice to sell that. But before we go too far, let's actually, glad I remembered this. Let's grab the 8R. We don't use it much. We're going to go take a look at what they have for moving some milk around, because we do want to get that sold this month and start getting into a good process of that being a daily chore for us. We're going to need a truck eventually too. Yeah, once we feel a little bit more comfortable financially, we'll get our own truck we can drive around. Don't always need to be in a tractor or the semi. Yeah, the cheapest thing that can do milk is $25,000. We'll go ahead and give it a purchase here. That's gonna hurt a little bit financially. Nice, easy connect here, but we do need to put the hoses in. All right, let's go get our milk and get it sold for the first time. Some nice extra cash. It'll take a little while to pay off this $25,000 or make our money from it, you know, but a unavoidable expense. All right, just hook up some hoses here and get our milk deposited into the tank and head on into the dairy to get it sold. All right, this looks to be the place. Let them know that we're dropping off some milk, get some money from them. $3,232 for our first time selling milk. We're up at 106, so, you know, we have a decent cushion right now. You know, $18,000 a month is our loan payment, so as long as we have enough to pay that every month, we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to kind of do our thing, and we know that over time we'll start making more money and things will turn for the better. and we'll be able to start attacking that debt and get it paid off before we know it. All right, with that tractor put away and our milk taken care of, we're gonna go here, save us some cash. We are gonna hop in and take over. And as much as I'm looking forward to this 5 miles an hour, we're gonna shut the recording off, and I will see you in April. Well, I thought we were gonna rejoin you back in April, but we do have some lime to take care of, and I'm going back to the part where we started just because that's the way I like to do. Well, you know what? Let's do this wise. Let's come over here and start. But I did buy 60,000 liters of lime just to have it. I don't know if we'll go through all of it on this field, and I also bought the soil information, so that did eat into our money big time. You can see we're sitting at $75,000 now. So trying to get this field prepped. I did see there was a sugar beet contract to sow some sugar beets, but it's just too late in the day. So we'll see if there's any contracts in April if we have time. Gonna need to do that soon because we are burning through the cash, and I'm hoping we have enough seed to get going, but we got to buy, or I'm probably thinking this time around we're going to be leasing some equipment for mowing and making some silage bales. Unfortunately, but that is what it is. You know, we're going to get by. We're going to slow roll this. We're not going to rush things just to have them. You can see we have some wood beams over there to sell as well. We do need to sell the milk in April again. So we'll have some steady money coming in, just we got to get it to the point where it's, you know, $16-ish, $17-ish thousand a month would be nice, but I just don't think we're there yet. We just got to be patient. We'll get there. Well, a full load of lime went a little further than I thought it was going to, almost a full headland. And doing headlands really makes this field, you know, it pulls in to where the middle of the field isn't, you know, as daunting anymore after you do 2 headlands. So I don't know if we'll go through all of this. We'll go through a good amount of it, but at this point I think I am going to just kind of rush through this and get us to where we can plant, and for the first time use the planter that we're looking at right in front of us right there. Some soybeans going in the ground in April. All right, let's go ahead and get all this detached, and I think it's time to sleep. And we will check on everything in the morning and get to planting. Oh, we got a nice hailstorm to start the day, and it looks like a little bit of a tornado warning gonna happen later today. Here's the tractor we need. Let's go ahead and get these hoses detached. We need to get the regular pallet forks, and we're gonna sell a little bit of wood beams, sell some milk, try to get that dollar amount a little bit higher. Just need to get the hoses attached here as well. Oh, do they not have hoses? How did the forks get? Oh, it just must automatically connect them on this one for some reason. Okay, but we do have, yeah, it is functioning. April. Is that the time to sell wool too? It looks like May, but we are on our way up, so we'll see how that peaks, but we will do the wood beam. It is, you know, always good time to sell wood beams. And then the milk, not going to get the best dollar amount for it, but we do need to sell that today. So we'll grab, we'll get a double dip here. Let's pick up the wood beam. And I should probably swap this out for a pallet fork that has the straps on it now that we're using that mod. But just cruise on over here, get the little bit of milk that we do have and get it sold. No reason to do 2 trips. All right, we'll get that connected, get the hoses attached, and head on into town. I forgot to fill up the milk. What a waste of a trip. All right, this is where we sell the wood beam, so we'll get this money and then we'll go back and get the milk. So much for double dipping. Yeah, just about $3,000 there. We're at the 60,000, so we got a couple months of leeway right now of payments before we start worrying. And just over 1,000 liters. And arriving at the dairy. This isn't the right place. It's embarrassing. There it is. Big facility for this dairy here. And that puts our total to $60,408. And while we're waiting out this storm, we are going to get the planter all prepped. All right, let's get this all attached. I think we're going to have to hop on right here to grab the hoses. Yep, seems to be functioning. We are full of seed, so hopefully we will have enough soybean seed here. I don't know though, 600 isn't a lot. We do not need fertilizer for soybeans, so now it's just kind of waiting this weather out a little bit. And with weather clear, we are getting soybeans into the ground here for the first time. You know, all of these implements and the width of them definitely feels small for the size of fields that we do have. So that will be something long-term that we're going to look into. We shouldn't get any weeds on this field, and we don't need to put any fertilizer in. So this should be the last thing we have to do until fall when it comes time to harvest them. The one thing I was kind of thinking about is we'll get, you know, some barley, and that's going to be way more barley than we need to feed the chickens when it comes to this field over here when we harvest it, and then we'll get to sell that in the winter. This field here that we're prepping to harvest, we're not going to make money on for over 12 months. It's going to be the following July when we finally get to bring in the money from it. So hopefully having those separated where we make money in, you know, the end of the year and then the middle of the year will help pay the bills year 3. $60,000 still, that is, you know, a few handful of months, maybe 4 months, a little under that, of getting by. So we'll have to find a contract here or there. And hopefully, you know, just the egg production, the wool production, the milk production could start actually helping us get by. And the wood beams as well. A lot to think about. Making nice progress. Gonna get this done, and then we really need to solve what we're gonna do to cut that grass next. And make sure we have our own feed for the sheep and cows, so we're not buying that anymore. Let's get focused. All right, with one headland done, we did use, you know, 40% of the seed here. A little bit more than I was hoping. We do have some seed in the seeder. So once we run out, we'll empty that, put it in here. You know, I guess we could get the mod, and we probably should, where there's specific seed types. That's something I'm going to put on my list to do. That way we can't steal from a seeder that can't plant soybeans. But I'm going to get focused. I'm going to get this done. We're going to go off camera for a little bit here, and I will rejoin you later on. Well, the soybean field is planted. It took a lot longer than I anticipated, but we did get it all done. So we just need to be patient, let this grow. And we did not get to cutting any grass in April. We'll have to take care of that in May. But this is where I'm going to leave you today. I am SockSoyUp. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next episode.